This is Damon Stevens. Vanilla Bullers Day is Sunday, August 28, 2022, and this is stock market prep for this week, as well as to recap a little bit of the last week. Obviously, as we went into Thursday, we talked about Jerome Powell's talk on the economy, and that is going to have an effect of setting direction for Thursday, for Friday, so whether we're going to go up or down. And obviously, his hawkish discussion drove the market down heavily on Friday. A huge sell-off, 1,000 points on the Dow, which we'll get into when we get into the charts, but definitely broke the support levels that we needed to keep bullish here. So we're pulling back. So let's kind of look at, what do we do for this week? What can we expect? What stocks are we tracking? Let's get right into it. Take a look at what's going on. Looking at the overall market, you see Dow Jones closed down 3.03%, NASDAQ down 3.94%, and S&P 500 down 3.37%. So erased pretty much almost all of the bullish gains that we got. So hopefully you were doing what we talked about, which is locking in those profits. So hopefully you did that on Thursday, if not Friday morning, before the announcement came out, because we were heavily elevated, and the risk was high. And you see here, I mean, obviously with the heat map here, it's pretty much red across the board. So, can we expect more? Possibly. So let's look at it. Also on the scanners, Nerve was a multi-day trade. I did not get this, but it's on my radar. I missed the trade, didn't take my order. So, but hopefully others caught that. But great trade. We'll be watching this week as well. But as far as the others, nothing that I traded or we are watching right now on our short list. So what we are watching though is energy, and also beverage right now with things pulling down. One thing that has been strong, as you can see here with Oxy, as Oxy's come up here, kind of broke this high at 74.04. Come in, checking in here, right here again. So we're testing this area again. If we break out above the 73.50 area, look for Oxy to continue to climb here. If this fails, this breakout fails, we may come back down and retest this low again around 67. So just something to watch there, but it's prepared to show us a direction one way or the other, but hopefully we get a bounce. ConocoPhillips too, you can see here, had this big pull down here back in June, found a bottom, and then we've been just climbing up. And we kind of paused here. We have a resistance area right here where this gap is up here around 116. But we paused right here, probably because of down day. We're going to see if we get some follow through. It did not break the high of this candle, so that's important. So as long as you stay above this candle, this 112, hopefully we can rally back up here towards 115, 116 would be the goal. But still, nice bullish run, no huge pullbacks. That's what you want to see. And then looking at Constellation Brands, so STZ, you see here, this was kind of where the resistance areas were, right up here. This was 258 back in January, 261 back in April, and we were back up to these highs again here in August. And you see this big huge pullback from the market. So if we can find support, it did come back down to the support level at 251 area. So hopefully we can bounce off here. You can see that it was resistance before, and now we're back to support. So as long as we can not break 251 and hold that, we should be able to hopefully either become in a channel here, come back up towards 261. But if we do break it, you see this is a long consolidation, huge consolidation area. You're representing months in here. So it's possible we could come back down here and just chop in this range again. So it all comes down to breaking that level. So holding 252, look for upside. We break to 251, look for downside and possibly range bound again. Looking at Coke, there was a high 67.20, low 58.25, back up to 65, got resistance, pull back down, got back up to 65. And then of course Friday we got to pull back down. So you can see here this big range as well. So you see Coke's just kind of been range bound in this area. So look, if we get support here off of this 100, around $63, just look for around run up back to 65. We've been putting in higher highs. So as long as we hold this low and we don't break this lower low, which we're just right there, we should be able to bounce. If we put a lower low in, then look for a possible trend reversal on Coca-Cola. Looking at S&P 500, looking at calls and puts, everything in red is puts or people shorting the market. Everything in green is calls. Everybody going long on the market. And you see right now, at least going into this week, and it'll change on Monday. But 400 is where this huge spike is, which should be support as well. Means buyers should come in at 400 if we hit that early this week. But if we break that level, then obviously these people will be rewarded. But look for that to be where buyers may come in here and try to pull that back up. But we don't have a lot out here. You see almost 3 people shorting the market still too long. On Friday, those people who shorted the market got paid off well. So hopefully they were patient with it because it did pay off for them when it looked like, at least coming into Thursday, that they may take a loss here. So it all came down to Jerome. It was like a 50-50 coin toss for those who weren't following Jerome and also the economy. We try to look at that with stocks and bonds in a mix to try to get a good feel where the market's going. So just pay close attention to that. Be careful of this 400 level as we come this week, and we'll see how this fills in to see how the market changes here as we go in and people continue to react to Jerome Powell's talk. Look at Monday. Nothing scheduled on Monday for economic reports or Fed speaks. Tuesday, we got the Shiller's index report. We got the consumer confidence, the CCI. We have job openings on Tuesday as well. All that could possibly swing the market. On Wednesday, we have a little bit of manufacturing data, not as much on Wednesday. Thursday, jobless claims. Looking to see, do jobless claims continue to go up, or are we going to hold the level we're at right now? So labor costs, ISM manufacturing index. So Thursday, Friday, big days, big news comes out. A lot of times, we see some volatility on those 2 days. So we'll see how it goes. But Tuesday, Thursday, Friday are your days to watch for news. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe to our channel so we can continue to bring this content to you. And definitely like our videos so we can continue to bring this content to you. And if you want to know more about us, just click on this video right on our homepage on our YouTube channel, and you can learn more about what we do and what we offer. We also have, at finwealthlive.com, you can join our Discord where we post numbers before the market opens on what we're trading, when we're getting in, when we're getting out, so you know when to take profit, or at least when we're taking profit, and that way you can, decide for yourself what you're interested in, or if you're trading something totally different, that's fine as well. Just you can share it along with everybody else. But definitely join us. Also, we have some free training out here on our website. I'll show you a little bit later what our dashboard looks like, but definitely, look to join us at finwealthlive.com. Looking at Apple here, you can see, we had this huge pullback. So we had a nice bull run up to this resistance area. We had a pullback down to the 20, and we started to go back up here, and then you can see this pull down. So just kind of this little zigzag pattern. So we're below the 20, but above the 50. And we have like kind of this little range right here. We have a gap here to fill right under this 161 area. So now we're going to watch to see on Monday, do we get the continuation? Do we break below Friday's close? If we do, look for downside possibly to come down and find support around that 166 area for support, or even down here, maybe 159. If we continue to sell off, or if we get above yesterday's close or Friday's close, look for a possible bounce. I would see we could bounce up here, retrace maybe 50% around 168, and then pull back down again. So definitely looking for more downside right now, since we did have that big pullback. So we'll see what happens. Tesla pullback, it's below the 20 as well. So you're gonna see the common theme here. Everything's pulled back below that 20. So if they're sandwiched in between, we just got to look for a break back above the 20 or a break below the other moving averages. So right now, Tesla, we need a break above 292 for the upside, or 280 on the downside. Amazon, sitting right on that 100-day. Looking for to see if we get a bounce off this 130. If we do, look for a run up back to 135. Or we could even retrace back towards 132 area, maybe 133, and then pull back down again. So we're looking for really just kind of a movement. Do we break above yet Friday's close for a short run up and then pull back again? That's what I'm expecting a lot of stocks probably will do. But if we sell off right at the get-go, then just look for continued play down towards the 100 or the 50-day moving averages for these companies. And I'll show you kind of what's happening, what's changing the overall environment for the S&P 500 here in a little bit. NVIDIA pull down. See kind of we're downward sloping here. We kind of come up, hit this resistance area, came back up, hit it again, stayed below it. And so, that continues to be, this trend line continues to be resistance for NVIDIA. If we break down below this level right here, this 160 area, look for, just fall into this channel, possibly down lower lows. So right now, just some weakness here, really tightened band here. So we either got to break out or break down sometime this week. Google, it's been range bound here. You can see the range up and down. We broke that range just a little bit. Looked like we were gonna, come back here and retest this area here back in May, and then we had that failure and we started breaking back down again. So look for coming back down to lows, possibly around this 104, 105 area. When we hit this trend line, it'd be more around 107, and look for some support down there. So here's what I was talking about earlier. So S&P 500, this is all the stocks in the S&P 500 that are above their 50-day average. And you see that we here's the average back in November 2021, 77 area, 78 area in January, 75 area in March. And then, here in July, we hit right up at the same high, pulled back a little bit, and then broke up. And we got up to 92% of companies in the S&P 500 on this bull run. We're above the 50-day moving average, which is very bullish. And then you see that we talked about this before. Every time we got up there, we pulled back. So we got up there, pulled back, and then with Jerome Powell's speech, you got your big drop. But we stayed above this 50-day. Not that it really matters as much on this chart. I don't pay close attention to that other than just overall trends and if we're elevated or not. But you can see that, we're down to 63. So that's a huge change off of that. So now we have only 63% of people, companies over this, over the 50-day moving average. So pushes us right down close to that 50% mark. So more pushing us back towards the bearish side of things. So just something to pay attention to. 10-year yields pull back off this trend line. So that's good for the market to hopefully be able to bounce here. That means money might be flowing out as well out of the bonds though too. So that's where you got to look at the dollar. But looking at the 2-year, we're still in this upper channel. So as long as we're seeing this upper channel, that's very bullish on the 2-year yield on 2-year bonds, which can affect the market here and where money's flowing in. Then look at the dollar here. You can see that it, spiked down, but then, rose up and it closed up towards the highs. So, a breakout would be above this high here of, 109.27 towards newer highs, which I think is a very possibility, but money's flowing back into the dollar. So just something to pay attention to, which usually if they close in the dollar, you see gold come down. Now gold stopped right here on this trend line. So maybe we can become range bound here and kind of bounce back and forth here. You can see here, we just retrace that entire candle. So, it's possible that this could be, we could have a leg down back towards 1681. So just look for either a break, to hold the 1736 area, or if we break below it, look for us to come more downside towards that 1681. Looking at US oil, you see here we're kind of range bound. So we got to break above, the 78.50 level or break below 69 level to get kind of moving here. The VIX, there's a huge spike in volatility, which is, obviously where the market was coming down. We're above 25, which, again, if we stay above 25, the market's going to start coming down and may come right down back down to lows. Again, you see here, we had broken down out of this wedge and which was great, but we had resistance here, which we talked about before. That was resistance before. Talked about how many days we were there, and look at the resistance here again, just over a week, and now we're back up. So we'll see. Do we break back up in this wedge? If we do, there should be some resistance around this 33 level, and maybe we chop back through. If not, then we may totally break this wedge, and we may go into just a new trend or a range bound trend. On the weekly, you can see here it is more range bound, and we're kind of towards the center. So look for the either to come back up here towards 38, which means the market would come down a lot, and we probably put new lows in, or look for a play down here to find support somewhere around 1850. So here's S&P 500 on a daily chart, and you can see we are downward sloping, so that's more bearish. And you can see we kind of going hitting this resistance line now 3 times and bounce down off of it. So again, we're down towards the center, which is a higher risk to get in long or short. So just be careful there until we get some clear direction. But we're kind of sitting right in the middle of that range. On a weekly chart, you can see here came back, tagged this trend line 3 times now, and we're pulled back here, and we're below the 20 and the 50. So just be careful. We could have more downside towards hit a new low down here, or we could kind of float in here somewhere. So just watching for price action or direction for the market. Triple Qs, same thing, broke the 20 and the 50, or really below all the moving averages again. So we kind of blew through all that, and kind of just blew up what we were working on that bull run. So hopefully, again, you locked in profits, and and you're watching price action here to see which direction going. So you can see here, hopefully we have support around this 302 area. If we can bounce off that 302 area, we hope we can run back up. So up, we got it back. We need to get back above, this candle here, this 320, if we really kind of want to run higher. Semiconductors, big pullback here as well, right almost down to this neckline of this double bottom here. Actually, it's almost like a head and shoulders pattern. So let's see if we can get support. If we do, should get support around here 218 and bounce off of it. If not, then hopefully we run up here and we're able to retrace back up and head north direction. But right now it's kind of range bound right in that low range. IWM possibly becoming range bound as well. So you see here, nice run up and pull back here. So we'll see if we can kind of hold this support line at 50 and the 100. We can stay above this 187 level or 188. That's good. If we break below it, we'll need to make sure that we're just managing the risk, taking things off if we need to. Looking at XLE, so this is the financials. You see financials. See the financials here? Kind of looks like it might become range bound here. So looks pretty tight right now. So this could become a range possibly for the financials. Healthcare, kind of range bound as well. More likely that's going to be kind of the area it sits in. Let me put a line on here. So very well likely could become range bound in here for a while. So we'll see if we can hold support. If we break 129, look for a downside. If we can break above resistance here 135, then we can look for some additional upside. Looking at energy sector, continues just to kind of slowly grind up high. You can see kind of grind up. We had a pullback and then another grind up higher. Sitting, second, day under this resistance, actually third because we tagged it there. So looking for a breakout above 83. Or if not, we possibly could pull back here and come back down towards 81. Bitcoin broke our trend line here. So coming down lower. Let's see if we can hold. So if not, look for some more downside towards 19,000. But right now we're just going right at that 20. So this is 2 days of holding that 20. So we'll see if we can keep it going. Ethereum, looking for a possible pullback down to the support line down here. It'd be around 1238. Or even this one here, a minor one would be 1380. So look for a pullback here and possibly bounce off here. That's our stocks, our cryptos, what we're looking at in the market. definitely join us here on pinwealthlive.com for a free Discord service. Also, if you join our membership, we have live trading, we have training courses, a full training course out there, group training, one-on-ones. We'd love to have you join us. Here's the front page to our master plan, master training. So definitely join us, and we'll talk tomorrow night, see how your trades went for the day and what we need to look to going into the next day. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow.